So everyone knows this evil drink. It was invented in 1886 by a morphine addict named John Pemberton. The original recipe for Coca-Cola contained cocaine as one of the main ingredients, hence the name Coca-Cola. Now, a lot of people already knew that cocaine was originally one of the main ingredients, but what people don't realize is the story of why the company got rid of it. And it turns out they got rid of cocaine for horribly racist reasons. In 1899, Coca-Cola started selling drinks in bottles. The bottles were very popular among African Americans because they didn't have access to fountain pop due to segregation laws. However, this started a panic among some white middle and upper class people. Some very vocal members of those communities were terrified that black people who were empowered by cocaine drink might start attacking them, and they wouldn't be able to stop it. So in response to these irrational fears, Coca-Cola started to phase out cocaine from the recipe in 1903 and replace it with caffeine and even more sugar.
And crack.
What do you guys think of this? Were you guys aware that A, it had cocaine, and B, they stopped using the cocaine for horribly racist reasons?
I'd heard of the cocaine shit. I didn't know they had taken it away because too many black people were...
Yeah. I just assumed it was a cost issue where companies will inevitably take out the quality ingredients from their product.
In 1986, a right-wing paramilitary unit showed up at a Coca-Cola bottling plant in Colombia. When one of the plant's union executives inquired as to what the squad wanted, they opened fire on him, killing him. Later that night, the paramilitary group went on to the union headquarters where they destroyed the equipment and burned the place to the ground and all the records. So, slightly passive-aggressive way to say Coca-Cola is not union-friendly.
Wow.
Man.
Wow. Yeah, so people make Pablo Escobar to be out this like, this crazy murderer, but then apparently that's just what they did.
Yeah.
in every business down there. That's just, you just enforce. Oh, you disagree, you just kill people, right?
Well, I think Coke's always been pretty hardcore, though, because I know during like World War II, they had the military contract and everything, and so they were supplying, they were like the only soda supplier, I guess, for U.S. troops, but they also, with the sugar rationing that was going on, it was really taking its toll on Pepsi, and Pepsi was on like the verge of bankruptcy, and they actually went to Coca-Cola to try to like sell the company, and Coca-Cola was like just laughed them out of the office, assuming they were just going to go out of business. And so they had a chance to like buy what is now their biggest competitor for pennies on the dollar.
Wow.
And they were just right. They just laughed at them.
Wow. So next point here, why Coca-Cola is evil. It takes almost a gallon of water to make a quarter of Coca-Cola. And this becomes a huge problem when Coca-Cola sets up bottling factories in places that don't have a lot of water, like South America, India. The bottling plants use up all the groundwater repeatedly, leaving the entire cities without drinking water for days. This would be like making everyone on their street ration their water, like Mondays are shower days, and Tuesdays you can flush the toilet, because some rich asshole on the street keeps emptying and refilling his Olympic-sized swimming pool every day.
How do you lose that much liquid making a Coca-Cola?
I think they have to like boil it down or something because they want to get it to where it just super dehydrates the shit out of you and puts you near death at every sip.
Oh, that's
I don't see the problem because we all know like India and South America doesn't have people, right?
That's right.
People don't live
there. not real people. I mean, do non-white people need water, really? I mean, maybe that's a question for another podcast, but I mean...
You being native Colombian, do you know anything about this?
I used to drink Coca-Cola, and it never seemed to be an issue. I never ran out of water. But I guess there's some places that are that short of water.
Why don't these people just replace water with Coca-Cola?
There you go.
When you go to bathe, Coke.
Oh, yeah. They could put it on their crops.
Yeah, right? Water the crops.
Maybe the crops could do a better job.
Right.
I'm starting to notice
Water
a theme here because I think it takes like a gallon of water to grow one almond also. So we're just very, very wasteful people.
Yeah. Maybe we need to be more efficient with this water.
So Coca-Cola has publicly stated their biggest threat is that people are getting too obese from their product and are revolting and living a healthier lifestyle. They are so aware of this that they are now paying schools more money when they allow them to have exclusive rights to be the sole beverage provider. So schools that have healthy options like milk and juice, they get less kickbacks from Coca-Cola. So not every brand is that self-aware of the carnage and chaos that they cause. Like I've always wondered, how self-aware is baking soda? In corporate meetings, they put up a pie chart and they say like 25% of our business from little old ladies baking cakes. They're holding pretty steady. We're doing good there. Now in 2020, we're expecting a big uptick in sales from our cocaine business. Like, do they have that sort of self-awareness like Coca-Cola has?
It would be kind of cool if those companies that sell like the roses that come with like the little glass stems. Just had no idea that people smoke crack out of those.
I was just thinking that too because I've been in stores as a person with the drug history. I used to buy those little roses, but also they would sell tiny little thumb-sized chore boys, which you couldn't clean anything with, but they're just for.
It's just
putting
like
it
a
in the
little Brillo
pipe
pad?
to filter. Yeah, Brillo pads that are just tiny. They're the size of a quarter, basically. And then you just...
And
it's just for smoking crack.
But it was one of the situations where you can't be like, hey, you got something to clean a crack pipe? And they'll be like, no, that's not what we do here. And then they won't sell anything to you at that point? Like,
No.
you can't-
Might I interest you in these roses?
Yeah.
There was a place where you could go... I used to do day labor, and you could go to this gas station down the street. You could buy a rose. They would cash your check without any questions asked. And that's where I think I saw the little thumb-sized chore boys.
What are they? Chore
Boys or whatever, Brillo pad. Basically.
Okay.
You know, those little, wiry.
We can't understand all your drug slang. Clint.
I know. I know. Oh.